I mean, every single one of us hunts barbarians every single day, so we might as well get something out of it for free, right? Why not? Hey there, YouTube! Welcome back to the Gekko, another day, another video for you guys. This is a shorter video than usual because we're talking about the peacekeeping tree, and it's pretty straightforward. There's not too much to talk about it, but I still wanted to highlight it because it's part of the 15 different trees that exist. Before we start the video though, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. This video is brought to you by Rise of Civilizations, and let's get going. So, the Peacekeeping talent tree is pretty straightforward. It is divided into two, as you can see, where this side is all about defense / march speed / health. This side is all about attack / health. So, there are a few interesting things on the defense side. This is the first and probably only time that I've said start with the defensive side, which is this lower side. So when you start working on this tree, I urge you to forget about the top side and start working in this path. And the reason for it is the following. On top of the fact that you get 1.5% speed defense, you can get up to 10 AP cost reduction. Okay, 10 AP cost reduction is significant because at the end of the day, let's say you hunted with a regular non-peacekeeping commander 5 barbarians, and with a peacekeeping commander 5 barbarians. One started at 50, the other started at 40. Once it went down as far as it can go, one's on 30 and one's on 40. For every 3 that the guy on 40 hits, the guy on 30 can hit 4. It's a substantial amount of saving, especially when you have events like Karok events, Lohar event, and things like that, that you're trying to get as many attacks out there with the least amount of AP. This is a great one. The other side of it is 15% increased XP obtained. I mean, 15% XP for free. You're already fighting these barbarians every single day, so you might as well get the freebie. Why not? 15 extra percent. You can get another guy on board, get that commander a little bit of extra XP, level him up. You can do a lot of good leveling by hitting barbarians. We get about what? Almost 3,000, right? Because it would be what, 500 minutes. Yeah, we get a good 3,000 AP a day, which we mostly don't use. So if you actually sit there and use it, another 15% XP is substantial. Okay, the other pretty guy right here is Trophy Hunter. Trophy Hunter can actually give you 15 level 1 resource packs type C, which have all the types of resources for free. So if you're doing your daily 5 commanders, barbarians you gotta hit to get your like daily points, then that's another 75 level 1 resource packs. 75 resource packs for pretty much for free. You did nothing. You did your daily thing, and these just came up. And as I mentioned previously, you're fighting barbarians every day. You might as well get the freebies. So I usually say start from this side. I urge you to start from this side. Get this guy unlocked, and this guy unlocked and maxed out. And then I prefer to go this way, which is the March speed way, another 9% March speed, making things a lot faster. That way I can go between barbarians much faster. And once you get up to here, I don't think the 0.5 defense is worth it, to be completely honest with you. And it's the attack might be, but even that, I don't think is that much worth it. When you go on this side, on the other hand, you have an interesting choice. Because you could say in theory, I want to go in this direction, but it is really not worth it. Let's go look at what we have here. So you have 1.5% attack. By the way, I didn't mention these guys right here, which are defense, health, and more march speed. So really, if you go towards what I did, you get 6 plus 9, that's 15. And another 3 right here, so that's another 8. You have 18% march speed just from this. Fantastic. Almost a fifth of your time, the march time gone. So when you go in this way, we get 9% increased normal attack damage. So every single attack has 9% more damage. Of course, why not? Of course. Increase skill damage by up to 15%. I personally went in this direction first because we hit normal attacks a lot more than skill attacks. So I started with this, then I went this way. Now, here's where it gets a little weird, right? because you get a lot of attack and health and all that, and that's nice. But this guy, it increases the amount of damage you do by 3 up to 9% when you're rallying. And when I was thinking, I was like, listen, I see neutral units here as well, which makes me think that at some point there will be other neutral units that we might have to rally. But at this point, the only rally that I saw that is a neutral unit are the Karok guys. And quite honestly, I don't know if it's worth the 3 points for that, unless you're a little weaker or a lower level and you want to make sure you're actually getting your Karok ceremony, your easy level done. So this might be useful for you as well. The same thing goes for this guy, which is really weird. It increases the damage dealt by up to 15%, but it also increases the damage taken. To counter that a little bit, it also has a healing factor down here, up to like 500 healing factor. Heals portion of slightly wounded units after defeating the barbarian. So it's not like at the end you'll get the extra heal, not throughout the fight. I am not really sure whether anything beyond what I did is really worth it. Maybe get a little bit more health and a little bit more attack. But I don't really see use for these guys unless you're really rallying Karoks and things like that. So I left it as is for now. I can level up my Lohar some more and try to get here. And if I see in the next Karok event that I'm having a hard time, then I definitely will get him here. But up to now, all I can tell you is straight up, start this way and go this way. The commanders that have the Peacekeeping tree are Markswoman, Lohar, Boudica, Cao Cao, and Minamoto. There's 5 out of the 28 total commanders that have this tree, and it takes 48 points to max it out completely. Remember that the talent trees are only effective on the leading commander. So if your leading commander is one of these 5s, you'll get the skills from this tree, which is interesting on Minamoto because a lot of people use Minamoto as a secondary commander to do a lot of damage, and they have his Peacekeeping tree maxed out or like something like this, and then go to the other sides of the tree that's like skill and I think integration as well. So, you know, there is a case to be made that you can take Minamoto out of leading, put him as a good secondary, and have him leading towards barbarians and neutral units. There's also a good case for having him as a leader for actual attacks. There are good cases for both situations. I think that Minamoto is the only commander that really would take a substantial amount of talent resets, as far as I'm aware of. Maybe I'm wrong with that statement, but from what I'm seeing, he's very dynamic and he has a lot of ways to use him, which is pretty cool. I don't even have Cao Cao, so I'm not even going to talk about him. I'm not going to get there at all. I'm very, very salty, sour, and pissed that I still don't have Cao Cao. But it is what it is, right? Markswoman, useless unless you're a newer player, which is okay. If you're a newer player and you're still working, you know, having her, and you have her and she's the one you're upgrading, excellent. You won't use her later on, but she definitely has Peacekeeping, and she will definitely be the #1 candidate to get here as fast as possible. You can get here with 4, 7, 8, 11 total points. So you would have to have her at a second star to get her to get 11 total points. But if you're a newer player, it is doable. Okay, you can get here and get your 15 extra resources. So if you're a really newer player who don't intend on spending money on the game, who really has a tough time with resources, maybe this would be a correct path for you, just so you can go ahead and get your resources in every single day. Other than that, Boudica is also one of those where you can use her as a secondary in command. You can use her as a first in command for attacks. So her Peacekeeping tree is also a little shaky. You might want to use her primarily for that as a leader and have her as a secondary. I don't really want to go into too much detail into them because, you know what? Each person needs to figure out how to use these commanders the way they want to. You can see people like Legendary Ronnie, like Chisco, who have been making a lot of videos about commanders, and that's why I keep... And also, by the way, Spooby. Spooby is also one of those guys that I completely forgot for a second that does a lot of commander videos. And you can see that the way they set up their commanders is so dynamic. They have some agreements among them, but there is no one correct formula. There are, even in Ronnie's videos that are all about the different setups, he has multiple setups for a specific commander. So you should probably look into that and look into how you want to use these commanders. But Lohar is one of those where I use specifically for peacekeeping, which is why I got to this point. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk to you guys about. What do you guys think about this tree? I want to know from you guys in the comments down below if Rise of Civilizations were to say, listen, we want to rebalance this peacekeeping tree and give you a little bit of a buff, not a nerf. What would you guys add to this tree that you think would be more beneficial to both free-to-play players as well as pay-to-pay players? Well, if it's beneficial to one, it's beneficial to the other, right? But regardless, what would you make different in this tree? How do you set up your tree? Leave me a comment down below. While you're down there in the description, you have my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. I'm trying to hit 150 followers on Twitter. It seems like impossible. So if you guys want to do me a favor, hit that Twitter link, follow me, tweet at me. I'm always available on Twitter. I'm the Gekko. I'm out of here. Thank you guys very much for all your continuous support. The channel has grown dramatically in the past few days. Look out for another war video coming out very soon, but it was actually kind of disappointing because as much as I thought, hey, here's some juice, it did not work out too well. But that's all I'm going to tell you about that video. It's going to be out sometime next week, maybe on Sunday. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to get it done by Sunday. But if I don't get it done by Sunday, it'll be definitely done sometime within the next week. So you stay tuned for that. And until the next time, peace.